Hi dear students, today I am going to discuss a topic which is different from the remaining videos. Many students were confused about how to study with a proper plan and how to prepare for the examination effectively. So these are the two topics I am going to discuss in this video. Studies is not only meant for examination, but examination is purely meant to get maximum marks. So how will you get maximum marks? The main thing you have to remember that you should be able to convert your knowledge into the marks. That means minimum knowledge into maximum marks. How can you convert the minimum knowledge you have that into the maximum marks with that knowledge? That is the first thing you have to remember. For that, we need to follow some strategies and tips. So that I will discuss one by one. Point number one, understanding syllabi. That is a very important thing because every examination bodies are continuously changing their syllabus time to time. So you should have well idea about the most updated syllabus. Because syllabus of each subject tells you that what are the areas you need to focus or which are the topics you need to study. So that is the first point you have to remember. Point number two. Once you understood the syllabus, you have to divide the subject into toughest and easiest. This may not be possible directly from the understanding of the syllabi because you have not started study those subjects, but from the experience of previous classes, you can compare the difficulty level of each subject. So according to that, you have to divide. Then when you start your study, you will get a clear idea about the difficulty level. So this is the point number two that you have to remember, divide the subjects. So according to that, you can divide the time for the most difficult subject or toughest subject according to you. Remember, these all tips are actually customized tips. For example, one student mathematics will be difficult. For the same student, English will be easy. For the another student, in his perspective, mathematics is easy while English is difficult. So it's according to you. So that is the first step so that you can spend more time on that toughest subject. Point number three, classify into the topics such as strong, moderate and weak according to you. This is also you can only understand when you start your studies, because before your studies you will not be getting any idea about the strongest part, moderate part and weakest part of that particular subject. This strategy is actually mainly for when the examination preparation. During the regular study, this strategy is not much important. But for the examination preparation, you have to divide the subject into strong, moderate and weak. Strong means in which are the areas of that particular subject you are strong. For example, some students may have well strong knowledge in the cluster trigonometry and moderate knowledge in like geometry and weak knowledge in case of like number system. So according to that, you have to divide the topics so that while you're preparing for the examination, first clear the strongest part so that you will not lose even a single mark from that strongest part. And also to cover up that strongest part, you will be taking less time so that you can ensure maximum mark from that area. Then go to moderate part and cover up that region. Then only you need to go for weakest part, because to get 10 marks from that strongest part, if you need to spend 1 week, then to get the same marks from the weakest part, you may need to spend 2 or 3 weeks. So it will consume the time. So while you're preparing for the examination, first cover up the strongest part, then moderate, then weakest part. That is point number 3. Point number 4, try to connect various topics in a subject as well as from different subject. For example, you have learned one concept in mathematics, then if you apply into the physics, you just need to connect that one so that by remembering one topic, you will get an idea of 2 topics. So this will make you a feeling of glowing bulb in your mind and it makes you more interest in studies. So this is the very important thing you have to follow while you study different subjects and even within a subject. Okay. And point number 5, make a customized study plan according to you and never take an ideal study plan which is already made by others. Because everyone is unique in the sense of their learning ability, IQ, etc. If in all the senses, everyone is unique. So make a customized study plan according to you. While you prepare a study plan, you have to remember 3 things. First one is find the most apt time. There is no an ideal timing for studies. You can choose according to you. But I prefer that morning time is better because you have to wake up when the nature wake up. That is a general rule. But if you are not able to study in morning time, no problem. You can choose evening. So according to that, you have to arrange the timing. And according to that, you have to make a customized time plan. That is like from 8 to 10, 2 hours morning. Then after 1 hour rest, then 11 to 12, like that. You have to make a division of a customized time plan so that you will be able to cover up the topics. Remember, while you're preparing a time plan, you should not make an ideal one. Oh, every day I will spend 10 hours or 15 hours for studies. It's not that. You think how much hours you can spend. For example, you can only spend 6 hours for studies. That is enough. Remaining time you can spend in your other activities. But while you approach the examination, you have to increase the timing. So what I'm saying is that in the beginning level, you can set up the time for 3 hours or 4 hours, then slowly you can increase. That means if you go to a sudden change in your life, that will never last. That is one principle you have to remember in your life. If you suddenly change everything in your life, and it will not last. It will be maximum for that 1 week or 2 weeks. By watching some motivational videos, you may have said that, okay, today onwards I will study for 10 hours, 15 hours. It's not a lot going to happen. So change slowly. A gradual change will be effective and lasting than the steep or sudden change. Remember that one. The third point you have to remember when you prepare a study plan, that is give what the subject requires. For example, I already told in the beginning that for some subject it may require more time, but for some subject it will require less time, and what that subject requires. For example, if you are going to study mathematics by reading the theories and writing the equations, it is not useful because the main purpose of mathematics is to increase the reasoning and logical analysis ability. So you have to take the problems and solve those problems. So you have to learn mathematics by solving various kind of problems. So that is the way how you have to learn mathematics. While if you are going to study social studies or like that subject, then what you have to do, you have to read the textbook and you have to understand the topics and terms, year, times, everything in that content. What that subject require, accordingly you have to study that one. There is no an ideal system for study that applicable to all the subjects. So according to the subject. So these are the 3 points you have to remember while you prepare a proper study plan. And point number 7, that is very important, previous year question papers. Because it has 3 major benefits. First one is that it helps you to get an idea about focus area, which means what are the important areas of particular subject. To get that, you need to take the previous year question paper and solve it. Second benefit is that it helps you to identify the scoring chapters, because in case of board examination, there is a specific division of marks among the chapters or units. But in case of competitive examination, you will not be able to see such a division of marks among these topics given in that syllabus or syllabi. But you can understand and you can identify which are the most scoring chapters or topics by analyzing the previous year questions. While you solving the previous year questions, you can compare, oh, the question from this topic is asked in the every year. For example, in class in mathematics, one topic is that the condition of solution of pair of linear equation. The question is asking like find the value of k or n like any variable such that the given equations or the given pair of equations have unique solution, infinitely many solution, or no solution like that. You just check the recent 3 or 4 year question papers. You can see each question paper consists of at least one question from this topic. So by solving the previous year question papers, you will get the most scoring chapters and most scoring topics, that is focus area and scoring chapters. And the third one is that it tells you about the way of questioning, how a particular question can be asked from the particular topic. Because the topic you are studying, the question will be asked in different way. So it tells you about the way of questioning. So these are the 3 benefits when you solve previous year question papers. How to solve the previous year question paper? There is also one strategy we need to follow. For example, one multiple choice question is given from physics like, which of the following is considered to be the quantity of motion of a body? There are 4 options given like mass, potential energy, momentum and velocity. This is a question. So here among these 4 options, option C is the correct answer. Momentum is the quantity of the motion, or momentum is considered to be a quantity of motion because momentum is equal to mass into velocity. You have already learned in class 9. So leave it. Okay, so that is a quantity. Now you are not supposed to leave that question until and unless you discuss other options. Option A is mass. So mass is considered to be, or mass A, what is mass? Mass is considered to be as amount of inertia or measure of inertia. And option B, that is potential energy. What is potential energy? The energy by virtue of its position or configuration. And what is option D? Velocity, rate of change in position with respect to time. This is the way you have to solve the MCQs while you taking the previous year questions. That means option C you got identified, then go for checking the other options and understand the concept of other options also. When you solve one question in this way, you are recalling many topics. So it will save your time. With a few number of questions, you will get a lot of ideas how the question can be asked from the different topics. One more example I am taking, that is a true or false question. That is, the line represented by x equal to 7 is parallel to x-axis. Here this question is true or false. It is false because the line represented by x equal to 7 is parallel to y-axis. So you have to find the true statement also. Okay, so you get the clear idea. One more thing you have to get, here the line represented by x equal to 7 is parallel to x-axis is wrong. Then how can we represent a line which is parallel to x-axis, that is y equal to 7? So when you solve a question, you have to look at around all the topics or all the concepts related to that particular questions. So this is the way you have to go for solving the previous year questions. So according to the type of question, you have to approach in different way. Point number 7, revision. You have all studied well. Now revision is very important. What is 25 square, which is equal to 625? You have not went for any calculation. Without any calculations, you directly the answer came to your mind that 25 square is equal to 625. How is it possible? It is possible because you have solved a lot of questions in the previous classes with this number 25 square or 20 square, like that, etc. So whenever you repeat it, same thing, you will be remember forever. This is the principle of revision. So without revision, you will not be able to remember. For example, suppose if you read a newspaper at the morning, or it is from any social media also, digital media, then in the evening, try to remember all those news and details. So you can find that most of the things what you have read morning is forgotten. So this is the most important thing you have to take while you go for preparing examination, because you will not be able to remember all the things you studied one day. Then what the question is that how can we revise these topics, because we have to learn the new topics also. In between that, how will we get the time for revising? The answer is that revise in a strategic way. How can we revise? In first stage, well, after you studied, within 24 hours, studied or just read, whatever it is, within 24 hours, you have to revise again it. That is the first stage of revision. And within 24 hours, that means if today morning, if you studied, at the next morning, you have to revise that one. When you do the first stage of revision, you have to prepare a short note with the very brief points. And remember, the notes with the brief points should include all those related concepts. Remember one thing, this short note prepared by yourself is much better than the study materials provided by the premium publishers. Remember that one. So the notes which is prepared by yourself will be helpful for understanding you in better way. Then the second stage is that within 1 week, after 7 days, you have to revise that again. After 7 days, you don't need to take the textbook. You just need to take the short note which is prepared by yourself for the revision in the second stage. Then how can you remember this after 7 days? I have to prepare these topics. For that, you have to keep a diary. In diary, whenever you study one topic, mark it on that date. And on the next date, you have to mark it for the first revision. And after first revision is done, in that diary, after flipping the 7 pages, you have to mark it that topic after 7 days. Then after second stage, you have to mark it after the 21 days. That is the third stage. So when you open the diary every day, you will get an idea which are the topics I have to revise today. Let's recall again. First stage is within 24 hours, second stage is after 7 days, and third stage is after 21 days. So this is the way you have to do revision. After this third stage, you will be remember all those points, most of the points from that topic forever. Point number 8, prioritize your sleep. That is the most important thing, because brain needs relaxation time for storing and processing those informations you have got or you have studied. So sleeping for a proper time interval like 6 to 8 hours, according to the people it may vary. There is no a rigid time interval like you have to sleep for 8 hours or 7 hours like that. How much time it is required for you to get a proper sleep, that much time you need to go for sleep. So that is point number 8. And the last point, that is point number 9, de-stress yourself. That is the most important thing, because never fill your mind with stress. Never worry about this, what if this question asked, or what if I get this less mark. Never bother about such things. Only focus on examinations. And if it is not the time of examination, learn the topics by doing some activities and some joyful activities. One more thing is that when you study a particular subject, utilize all the resources you have. It can be refreshers, extra guide, textbook, study materials given by teachers, whatever it is, or this internet, YouTube, anything which you can utilize for your study. I hope you catch the point I have discussed today. In the next video, I will come with another topic. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.